and they were second to every loose ball. They weren't as good mechanically. They were just the lesser team. They have to not let that happen again against HEET.
Rogue are wanting, though, to double their money, get the win, see if they can get that $50,000. It's a massive task for them because HEET are going to be standing right in the way. The immediate shot coming out from Rogue as well.
Yeah, decent start here for Rogue, looking a little bit better than before already at this point. Against Anchor earlier on, they had already been outpaced to about 5 or 6 loose balls.
Interesting when we were talking before the series started as well with the whole Zanil. Is he in for the 2v2s? Is he there, you know, just to fill in the numbers for the 3v3? What did you think in that previous series?
I think that he would be expected to go back into the 2v2. He just looked like he's lost his confidence, really. I think the whole of Rogue had. So they went with the more experienced players. They went with Gyro and Taroko because they know they can put in a solid performance in a 2v2 in pretty much any capacity. And yeah, it made sense, but Zanil in the final 3v3 in that deciding game, he looked back to his best. He was making some solo plays, he was getting some quick recoveries, he was linking the play, scored a lovely goal if I recall correctly as well. So I'm sure in the 2v2s this time we'll see Zanil say, okay boys, I'm back and I'm ready. But what a pass that is from Varisa Razias. Oh, and it's saved well.
Good push coming in from HEET and onto the open net, just a smidge wide as Zanil can clear it away with the help of Parker rather, passing back to Razias, the 1v1 man who absolutely blew myself and Johnny away earlier. Parker unable to get that one central, and so Gyro can carry on down the pitch. I saw Gyro this morning. I met him at the Omelette Bar.
Lucky you.
Yep. I said hello. He said hello. And then we went our separate ways. I didn't stick around to find out.
Did you not?
No. I should have done. Maybe I should have done, but no. He had a nice healthy breakfast. The man is prepared for the day.
Good man, good man. That's why he's so happy and wavy and smiley and happy is Gyro as he takes this touch off the backboard. He's got Taroko to his right, who's dodging some demos, showing some quick thinking feet right now. Gyro carries on with it round the corner. Good play from him all around. Razias here wants to get past Zanil but can't do it. Good to see Zanil so far forward up against HEET because he was so defensive earlier on.
Faris on that left wall attacking in the corner, but Gyro with no boost just sends it high, and the pass central from Parker only goes as far as Taroko. 50 boost for Zanil, takes to the skies, tries to get that flip reset, goes to the ground instead, pinches wonderfully in front of the net, absolutely outplays every defender on HEET, and Rogue with first blood.
Zanil shows his mettle right now, look at that, fakes the flip reset, then gets it around the corner for Taroko, who literally cannot miss. And Rogue take the lead in the 3v3, and they are looking really good right now, Rogue. They're looking much more balanced. Earlier on, they were so much more defensive. Now, they're actually showing that they can be an attacking threat. Zanil is demanding that ball, which is what we want to see from him, because you have to remember, you know, he's making a statement in his own career as well, being brought in as a sub. Right now, Rogue back to their defensive ways as HEET come forward. Faris to the side. Wants to get this boost as well. No, he leaves it, in fact. Parker to the center, where Zanil is already waiting. Gets one touch, wants to get the second, the dunk. Zanil is just so involved.
Good shot attempt from Taroko. A Canadian man that we saw pop off the previous series. I spoke to Cole when it happened. He was like, you watched the previous one? I said, yep. We were both like, Taroko was sick. We were like, yep. He's the man, tries to dribble it round the pass side of Parker, but the post thwarts his effort. Pinches to the center, Razias never cleared that one too far. And the touchdown, Zanil doubling up the lead for Rogue in this game number 1.
The real Zanil is well and truly here, up there on the recipient, as the recipient, should I say, of the little quick infield pass there from Taroko. Good control and decision-making from Rogue yet again to double up their lead with a couple of minutes left, and this is the exact start they wanted against HEET, who, you know, they're only involved in these 3-0s. They won 3-0 against Anchor, lost 3-0 against Space Station Gaming, and then earlier on today, they won 3-0 against Team Secret. So, you know, history would have it that if Rogue take this first game, they'll be in a really good place in this series.
I wonder where HEET will take the matchup as well, because clearly their pocket rocket is Razias. He is the one. He is, you know, their ones player, someone who is also formidable in twos if Faris and Park, you know, want to be split up. But if you pick ones, you've got Taroko. Like, it's not just one of the easy picks. You've got somebody who is also absolutely sensational. I would put Razias ahead of Taroko, and hopefully Johnny Boy isn't screaming at me from backstage, but I put Razias a little bit ahead, so maybe losing this first game might just put them onto that opportunity to pick ones and carry on in a way that they'll feel more comfortable.
Taroko, who so far has had a 10-4 victory and an 8-2 victory in the 2 1v1s that he's had, so he is really feeling these solo duels that are so involved, but it will of course be up to HEET. I reckon they would still back Raziers against Taroko, even though Taroko is in such fine form because he's such a good 1v1, right at the top of those leaderboards. And not bad at 3v3 either as he gets a flip reset. Faris is going to have to come in against Gyro. Look at this from Taroko again. That is what Taroko does so well, nipping in when it matters, and it always seems to cause goals for Rogue.
I saw him get a couple of those runaway opportunities where he intercepts and gets one more little touch to squeak it around the side of the opposing players. 30-second left, that's 3 goals for Rogue. Fantastic first form in this initial game in our lower semi-finals. Winner going on to face it off against the loser of Endpoint versus Space Station. So very much not all clean sailing here. 25 seconds remain. Rogue wanting to burn the time off the clock. Zanil up, does not get any contact, but doesn't matter. You got 3 goals.
Once again, Taroko, look at his score there, 584. He is just involved in everything good that Rogue are doing. But it's Zanil that's sort of drawn my attention a little bit. Not because he's been the best player on the pitch by any means, but just because he seems so much more involved. He's wanted the ball, he's getting bumps in demos, and he's showing a bit of expression right now. As Parker comes forward, it's not going to matter anyway, even if they do score. This one is going to hit the floor, and it's going to be 1-0 Rogue.
Rogue looking pretty elated. Yep, fair play. We got it. We managed to squeak out the 3v3. And a lot of these teams, you look at the specialist teams where these are kind of soft specialist teams where you have Taroko, who's very good at 1v1s, but also is fantastic at the 2s and 3s. Razir's very good at 1v1s, but also pretty good at the 2s and 3s. You see them just being able to switch it up, and you know, you're not going to think, okay, one will always win those 3v3s, it's going to go to 5. It could very much go either way. And as Johnny Boy taught me yesterday, it is very much not impossible to win 3-1, where there's a 1v1 in that second game.
You're proud of that, aren't you?
Very proud. Very, very proud. Johnny Boy was wrong, and I was correct. I would like to see a 1v1 between these two teams. I want to see Raziers versus Taroko.
Do you reckon that's what HEET will be thinking themselves as well? Do you reckon Raziers is so confident, even against Taroko, that he is putting himself forward? He is volunteering, because if he loses the 1v1, all of a sudden HEET, who are the team, the little plucky team that keep on beating teams ahead of them, they need a reverse sweep against Rogue. It all comes down to this 1v1, if that is their choice, and that is a big statement to make.
I would say that seeing as earlier on he beat Knight 10-5, that's a great launching point for him. That's the only 1v1 he has played,
10-4.
However.
10-4 it was, wasn't it?
No, it's 10-5.
All right, I'll trust you.
No, it's Taroko that won 10-4.
Oh.
It was Raziers that won 10-5.
Sorry, it's because Knight loves losing and conceding 10 goals.
Dare you?
I was so confident.
And we do get that 1v1. Raziers fancies his chances against the mighty, mighty Taroko.
I mean, I can't see either of these two players scoring 10 right now. No. Taroko, a more offensive 1v1 player, will just be looking to frustrate Raziers. Can it happen? Raziers is a player who every now and then can lose his confidence and lose his form, even in the 1v1 game. But with Taroko giving him freebies like that, he will be feeling it.
You call it a freebie, but look at how much he was chased down. Raziers bumps in initially, tries to wiggle into him, prevents him from going to that corner boost, forces him to get an awkward touch off the side, and Raziers can clean up. Brilliant pressure play by Raziers, and potentially going to be going on, starting as he means to go on with that sheer pressure, winning the kickoff. Neither of these players realistic with the mid boost taken by Raziers though, and that back corner boost, but a miss leaves Taroko with an opportunity to shoot, but him being low and takes into that back left corner.
Raziers doing so well to keep so much boost in the tank, but almost Taroko still manages to get it past him. And just keep an eye on Raziers. Throughout that entire defensive phase, he never went below about 30 boost. Only now has he used the rest of his 100. And he's stolen some more there. So great recovery play. Taroko struggling to get himself involved in this 1v1 so far. Just trying to keep Raziers at arm's length. But he's a very experienced customer in 1v1s. And he'll know that there's a long way to go yet as he takes to the sky over the top of Raziers, almost, but well defended.
Lured into that air dual bump by Raziers jumping, wanting him to take to the skies, then immediately goes back down, forcing Taroko to waste a little bit of boost. Knows he was not going to be getting anything from it. A great demo. Raziers opens up that net, and the dribble can find its way in. The ball on top of his car, easy as you like.
So far, Raziers, the favourite, is showing why he is that. The decision-making quality. I guess his boost as well, just in case the spawn had come. He'd have been completely okay there, Raziers. Getting that one in for a couple of goal lead. And he's had to do some defending, Raziers. It hasn't been all his own way. But he's done everything else of him really well.
And then we keep an eye on that kickoff. Raziers going for the wave dash kickoff, can then tap it to the side and gets his back corner boost. Taroko, though, can flick high, but with not too much boost to his name again. He has to try and steal that corner.
More good defending again from Razias. Taroko, he's tried an edgeable bump, he's tried a flick. Neither of them have worked, so maybe I want to see just a clean challenge game from Taroko, just charge his way into it, see if he can win the loose ball, because these solo plays, these mechanical plays, not quite working. Razias so good at defending against him, but down the other end, he's also pretty good in attack. Gets a tap on Taroko as the ball nestles home.
The fact that Taroko was retreating in such a straight line compared to the ball, any touch he gets has to be towards the side, and getting bumped by Razias as well stops all of that backwards momentum. Able for the ball just to fall over the orange line on Aquadome in our 1v1. And Razias, a 3-0 lead over what looked like a fantastic ones player, but as it is in 1v1, many a goal will be scored across this match.
Razias is he's just not falling for Taroko's tricks right now, and I think I want to see Taroko play a little bit more expansively himself, because Razias is feeling it. And what I love about that shot there is that even though it didn't go in, Razias still managed to cover the rebound. And another save again from Razias there. How does he continue to keep this ball out of his net? Is he going to score it down the other end? He's got the flip reset, but no goal, just about.
Just that turnaround from Razias, managing to get the save. Taroko shooting wide on that one, wants to, you know, learning from maybe a hero of apparently Jack, missing those open nets. Razias in the center, just go for a flick over the top. Again, sent high by Taroko in a fantastic position, because then he can immediately shoot off the back of it. Brilliant play. Knows that Razias is going to be a little bit low on boost, sends it high, knows that boost is incoming, and Taroko can read it. Fantastic self-setup.
Yeah, basically faked the boost grab, or let Razias get it and just went for the ball. And it was a nice, clean finish from his own side there from Taroko. Does get himself back into this one, and will be very happy about that. The kickoff goes pretty much in his favor. He will have control of this ball, and a couple of boost pills to his name as well. Razias is using all of his, just trying to keep as much as he can. Let's have that one, but he's in his own corner, so can't do too much with the ball. Taroko, do you dive in? How safe are you going to be playing? Because Razias, if you're too passive against him, he can flick it over you in an absolute heartbeat. Brilliant. And that is what's happened right there. Taroko was trying to find his moment, never did, and Razias punished him.
Forced sideways as Razias is just able to carry on pushing gently down the pitch. Taroko faking to go for that boost grab initially, wanting Razias to flick early so then he could return and save it away. But with the fake comes a little bit of a misread. Taroko with ball control but very little boost, and Razias also on quite little boost, only managing to pick up 2 pads. Good stationary movement from him. Now with 100 boost in the corner, Taroko though has 100 to defend with. Razias has to go high, does not secure a great flip reset, but taking out of that challenge, Taroko takes it low instead. Wants to go for a hook shot, fakes the hook shot, sends it high, and then the boost steal. This is where so many 1v1 plays start from.
Taroko, can he get it past Razias? No more good defending. So difficult to get the ball past. Seems completely solid.
That could have been in.
It could have been in, Razias. Come on, Sam, what are you doing? But he did put a bit of pressure on Taroko. Now he's wave dashing his way across the pitch. Keeps the boost. Taroko just wants to tempt him in, wants to force him. Does manage to go underneath him, and does manage it. And Taroko, he's keeping this one close.
Luring in Razias as well with that challenge. Goes for the initial hook shot, wants Razias to jump off the wall. He doesn't, so he knows this. Any one place he's going, he's going to be jumping down to challenge Taroko, therefore taking that low challenge. As Razias takes the high road, squeaks underneath, gets the tap in. Really nice movement from Taroko, but still has to make up 2 goals in just over 1 minute.
Oh, I think that boost grab went to Razias, which could be a goal for him. Yep. That was a mad dash to that side boost. Whoever got it was probably going to score, and it ended up being Razias. Look how close it was.
Bumping him away as well, yeah. Just managing to squeak underneath, 1 pixel ahead, and then 3 goals ahead after that play.
So Taroko is going to have to do it all over again. Get himself back into it, force somehow his way past Razias. Kickoff could be a good opportunity for him. He will win the boost. No, he's missed the boost. Oh, that's frustrating.
Challenge.
Which means he has to give complete control to Razias, who just pops it high because he knows that Taroko is on another straight trajectory to his goal. Brilliant gamesmanship and theory crafting there from Razias.
Sending that high, Taroko knows he has to challenge it at some point, but Razias being able to basically, he doesn't even need to go for that challenge. The seconds are ticking off. There's already a 3-goal lead. Razias doesn't really lose anything for going for that challenge. No different kickoffs happening. Taroko managing to land nicely, but Razias again on the floor. The mid boost is calling. He knows he has to jump. He jumps out the way of the bump and instead Taroko hits the ball on the other side. An own goal, but crafted by Razier's brain.
Yeah, that lovely little touch there, and then I want to believe that Razier's meant that. Did it on purpose.
Yeah, he did.
Lined his car up to force the own goal.
Yeah, I think he did, absolutely. He jumped out of the way of the demo. He knows that, well, where else is Taroko going to go if he wants to have full speed to hit me? He's only going to go into that ball. That was fantastic play. 5 goals separating them now as well. Lovely wave dash fake into then the flick instead. I love that Taroko goes up, leans a little bit to the left. See it in the cell, lean a bit to the left.
Oh.
Gonna wave dash.
That's right.
Nope. Manages to flick it over.
That's leaning to the right, you silly Billy, not the left.
Okay, well, he leaned to the right instead, but the exact same theory.
Well, he's now got 30 seconds for 4 more goals. He needs all these kickoffs to go his way. Maybe he needs to show a little bit more creativity as well against Raziers, but Raziers just takes him off the pitch. And he's going to be able to burn these seconds off to guarantee Heat getting back into this series. No matter what happens here. Can he get a beautiful musty? Not quite. But it's not going to matter. This has been a really good performance from Raziers. I mean, Taroko, he has been so hot in these 1v1s.
Yeah.
And pretty early on, Raziers just said, you haven't got a chance, mate.
To shut him down is very, very impressive. And to have a 4-goal lead as well, it's not going to be 10. It's going to be 10 in total for both players. Heat, because of Raziers taking that game number 2. And now, because we enter into an odd-numbered game in the series, we are back to 3v3.
And I think the Heat will be not too worried about the 3v3. I mean, Rogue did play the better game in game number 1, but it was by no means a complete divide between the 2 sets of 3. This is a series that Heat will be thinking they can win. They have been taking 3v3 games. They've not just been relying on Raziers or their 2v2 either. So, yeah, I mean, I want to see them really put Rogue under pressure. Rogue struggled earlier on against Anchor when Anchor were teeing each other up for air dribbles. You know, they were going for bumps, playing in front of the ball, playing with full confidence. I'm not sure we saw that from Heat. We have seen them play better threes. If they do that in this game, then they've got every chance against Rogue.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be, ideally, a closer one for Heat. But, I mean, Rogue, if they can shut them down in the 3v3, and if they can win all of the 3v3s, then because of the nature of the format, they're going to be taking home the series and heading into that lower bracket final with double the money.
Exciting times for these two teams. I think there's a really sort of balanced point in this series right now. You know, Raziers did what had to be done against Taroko. There's still pressure there in a 1v1, and he was able to deal with that. But as we head to DFH, it's going to be 1-1 in this series. And Heat, yeah, I mean, I want to see how Raziers, if he can take that momentum, he's now completely warmed up. Will he be able to be a difference maker between these two teams?
Well, that's something that the 1v1 does. It's almost like a palate cleanser in the middle to then get you excited then for the rest of the course. You've got yourself a bit more energy, you know your individual ability, and now your teammates are back, and they have got your back. Now it comes down to whether that momentum can carry through for Raziers. I would say theoretically, but let's see how it is in practice.
Oh, he has a pass there into the infield for Parker. Zanil watched it all the way and got the save, but Faris is coming. Zanil again with the double save. Raziers onto the backboard, and that's exactly what Rogue wanted. So brilliant defending right there from Zanil, the defender, the new player, the 2v2 expert, stands up in threes.
And that back line, it falls down to Heat to have to defend that ball away, manages to get that rounder's gyro into the skies. Raziers again manages to maintain one of his flips, but does not want to use it just yet. Taroko beating out one of the Heat players into the corner. Parker can't quite get the double, and so a double commit for Rogue falls down past Central, but Faris finding nobody.
Raziers made the right choice, I think, not going for that. All Rogue players were planted exactly where that pass was. Maybe the backboard would have been the better play, but for now, Heat are able to keep up this pressure. Rogue penned back. This is looking more like how things looked against Anchor, with Heat having all the play. But that touch from Zanil could be enough to break Rogue through. Faris goes in for this one. Raziers there. And he's going to slow things down. And he's going to take control. And he's going to get the flip reset. And he's going to get over the top of 2 of them, but not quite the 3rd. And that ball just deflects away into the corner.
90 seconds having elapsed. Nobody taking the lead just yet. The right-hand wing, though, is going to see a little bit of action. Taroko passes to Zanil. Oh, and gyro. Unable to connect with that ball in the midfield. Raziers with 80 boosts. Sees one Central, but he also sees his name up in lights. Parker changes the spelling. He's there instead.
Yeah, there he was, Raziers. He faked it. He made everyone think that he was going to be able to get this double tap, but the angle was a little bit too much. That doesn't mean that Zanil wasn't watching him the whole way, though. And then from his blind spot, in comes Parker to give HEET the lead in this 3v3. Bearing in mind they didn't score earlier on in the 3v3. It was 3-0 to Rogue, but it was a comfortable 3-0 as well. So that goal could do a lot for the mentality of HEET.
Yeah, big opening goal. Raziz wants to get another goal on top of the 7 that he's got so far. Wasn't able to get it in that time. Zanil air dribbling. Faris just takes a bit of a weak shot towards the net, sent high again. Raziz to assist and carry and catch, and a flip reset. Goes low with it, and typically you see it go so high. Sometimes there is a little bit of power on the way.
Yeah, I don't think he intended to hit that one with his wheels to get the second touch. I think it died somewhat, and Rogue are very grateful for that, but a massive chance to go 2-0 up for HEET goes begging, and now Rogue coming forward. There's a demo in the corner. Taroko has a flip reset of his own, wants to go under. That touch from Raziz is really awkward for Reese, and Parker are drawn out of line, and there is Zanil, and this is a good game of 3v3.
Almost felt like that floating ball lasted an age, as Gyro had to stop, wait, and just not get in the way of Zanil shooting on the open net. A drawing goal for Rogue. Approaching halfway in this game, and very much a hair's width between them.
Yeah, this is exactly how Rogue want to play it. They don't mind giving more pressure to their opponents, as long as those counter-attacks are working, and there, that's exactly what happened. HEET was stretched to defense going for these double commits, which you do not want to do in front of your own goal line, especially if you both miss it, that's for sure. Taroko wants to get the angle, can't quite. Zanil comes in though, it's closed down by Faris. Taroko does have Gyro in the center. He tries to tee him up, but the pass is a little bit lofty, a little bit loose. It does fall in the end to Taroko, who tries to fake out. HEET not falling for that one at all. They let him do his thing, tucker himself out, and then they clear the ball.
Neither of his teammates were there either, though. I think maybe wanting to fake that one away and then have somebody come in from his team to shoot, but just not on the same page. Faris to receive, sends it, but look at that interception by Gyro. Brilliant speed. Able to clear that ball into the corner, though, and Parker taking it to the midfield with 20 boosts to land and challenge it again. Good demo. One of the players from Rogue. Back right corner sees Faris versus Gyro. Gyro is the benefactor of that ball this time. Parker takes to the ground. I thought he'd take to the skies, but instead getting one bump on Zanil. Parker to flip round. Raziz, though, out of the shadows, able to attack.
Good read from Gyro. Didn't fall for the old quick-fire passes that HEET were throwing on, but here's another one for Reese here. Wants to have been ahead of Taroko. Rogue more pen back than ever, and they're not going to get a block to that one, and HEET have the lead.
That's a little bit spicy. Parker managing to connect on that ball from the half volley, snipes it across the net, and then matter the speed from the man below. He was not able to make contact. 90 seconds remaining. HEET with the lead. This will put them 2-1 up in the series, and then we'll be seeing a 2v2 in game number 4.
This is where Rogue's playstyle can really work against when they have to force a goal, especially when Faris has a chance for a flip reset. Raziz winning that race
lovely.
So easily, and what a pass across the line it was.
Absolutely sensational play. Just Raziz knows he can't go for the shot. He cannot get that angle. At least the safer play was to pass it off to Parker. Does so, drops it down, and 2 goals separating HEET and North America's Rogue.
Parker is going to lose this kickoff to Zanil, and Gyro just for a second looked like he could do something with it. In the end, it's just over the top of Faris, but he will have time to recover, as thankfully for HEET, he went very, very slowly, and they can indeed take more control. Raziz to the back wall. Faris was coming in there for a second, realized he couldn't get it. Now it's Rogue with a little bit of control. They need this ball to stay here for a little while, but the demos aren't helping.
Good bump.
And that touch over the top is going to set up Parker. Can he beat Gyro? No. Good save from Gyro.
Dive from underneath in the blind spot. Able to save that ball away. 40 seconds remaining. 30 boost. Raziz to pass central, but Gyro intercepting, slowing that game down. Faris knows if he goes to the challenge, then the ball gets into a dangerous position a little bit sooner, so why not leave it? But a long shot from the crossbar. Taroko sniping from his own half.
An absolute banger there from Taroko. Look at the power he got on this one from this pass from Zanil. Full pace. It was only 78 kilometers per hour by the time it reached the goal, but I think off the edge of the car it was a lot faster. Off the crossbar as well, taking off some pace. And now we have 29 seconds for Rogue to try and eke their way back into this one to climb HEET Mountain. Parker sends it long. Zanil needs to take control. His touch isn't perfect, but he will be able to get a second one. Again, his next touch isn't perfect either. He's staying in front of the ball. Taroko's pass, though, a little bit loose. This is where Rogue needs to be precise, and the precision is not quite there. 10 more seconds to make that change.
Chance for Taroko to seal Rogue's fate potentially into that game number 4. Midfield, though. Good challenge from the blue side in Heat. It's going to be dropping, and Gyro, all his team rests on him. He's not able to handle it, and Heat send us to game number 4, and a 2v2 approaches. My question, Cole, Zanil?
Yes. Surely Zanil will play this one. I know that Taroko's been playing brilliantly, and Gyro stepped up for the 2v2s when Zanil was struggling in the last series, but this time, you know, you've brought a player in for his 2v2 ability. You know,
they said they're focusing on 2v2 as well in the interview. So
it's very strange to then not bring him in for it. I think right now, Zanil, you know, you're coming here to prove that you are capable of being a pro player. Every one of these players at this level has to have that ego, that self-belief. Even when things aren't working for them, you miss 9 times in a row. You say, yeah, I'll be the one to get the 10th. As soon as you lose that, it's just not going to happen. So Zanil, if it's up to you, you have to be making the choice to play right now.
The vibe's clearly good as well over on the side of Heat. They're all giggling, they're having a good time. Do we see anybody grayed out just yet? Not yet. Not yet, everybody. Don't worry.
Speaking of being grayed out, over on the B stream, G2 have lost 3-1 to Complexity. So they've made it over here to Saudi Arabia and won only 1 series against Twisted Minds. It was Complexity 3, G2 Esports 1. Despite G2 getting game number 1, the 3v3, after that, it was, 3 wins in a row for Complexity.
Eliminated in 13th to 16th. G2, one of our major champions. After having a disappointing London appearance on the B stream, they fell to their death, finishing 1 place ahead of Detonator, Team Secret, Twisted Minds, and Anchor. But here, on the main stream, we've got the 2v2, Raziz and Parker versus Gyro and Taroko. No Zanil present, and Raziz is showing his presence.
A strange decision in my opinion, and Raziz, he is just so good when he has this much time on the ball to the ceiling, smashing that ball into the top corner. And look at that, I love that goal explosion, the eagle flying out of the goal, and Heat are looking very confident right now.
They need to win 1 more to send Rogue home, and yet another North American team taking the tumble. Taroko tries to flip reset it, but Raziz is there to read him. Parker to the ceiling in his own half, and Raziz actually leaves Taroko just to attack that because he's not in a threatening position. These land 2s are so interesting to me. I love watching these. It's such a fun mix between the 3s and the 1s. There's different styles that you go for, different combos change up how the game is approached entirely.
And it's also a good snapshot into these teams as well. Who's feeling hot, who's looking confident, and who's starting to struggle. And so far as Heat, they're having a lot more control of this game. There's slight hesitation though from Raziz. He's going to let Rogue win that challenge pretty cleanly. Raziz had to get back. Gyro's there, wants to get the ball but not quite able to. Now here's Parker slowing things down. Is there going to be a teammate flying in? He's desperate for someone to. Here's Raziz. It's a little bit too late though. Gyro had managed to get back in time to leave that 50-50 just full to his teammate. Now Parker's closed down by Gyro again. Gyro's definitely in chase mode, which is what we want to see for Rogue. Involved as much as possible. Raziz gets his flick reset. Taroko should be okay there, but there's a demo. That's a massive demo, and there's going to be a goal. Surely no. Taroko on the goal line manages to get a huge block. And now Gyro again. Challenging pass for Raziz. Taroko there. Good close down from Parker. Raziz, is he going to be able to turn this one on target? No, he can't. There was a clear path to the goal, and Raziz, who's been playing so well in this series, couldn't quite take it. Will that shake the mentality of Heat at all, or do they step straight back up? Taroko into the center. Parker is already up for it. Gyro is just waiting for this ball. Gonna have to be waiting for a while as Parker sends it high and Taroko gets involved there in the 2v2. But now Gyro comes in. Is there gonna be a chance for a Rogue finish? Not quite this time.
2 minutes elapsed in the 2v2, sent long into the midfield, and Gyro again. His interceptions have been magnificent. We've seen him all over the pitch in the previous game, and Parker with a loose and floating ball. Raziz is nowhere near that.
Yeah, not quite good enough from Parker, but the finish from Gyro was not easy by any means. Didn't have too much goal to aim for and had to aim for it quickly and powerfully. Did exactly what was needed from him to get Rogue straight back into this one. 1-1 now. Oh, that could be a chance though for Heat. Parker, can he get around the ball? Yes, he can. The quick lead return to Heat.
Brilliant catch from Parker as well. He was low on boost as it just bounces off that side wall. Being able to catch that and tapping it in. That's that finesse, being able to take the touch down. It's like when you see a footballer flies towards them and they just catch it so wonderfully with their foot.
Beautiful play. Right there from Parker, and he's got the ball again. He's going round gyro, wants to snap this one into the center, I think. His touch was a little bit loose. Couldn't quite decide whether he wanted to go for the snapshot there or the pass into the middle. I think the pass would have been the play. Obviously in 2v2, infield pass is even more risky than in 3v3, so you really have to be certain. So if you're not, I guess he made the right choice in pulling away, because he knows that when Raziers has a chance to go solo, he can get it past both these rogue defenders.
Taroko opting for the pass in that situation, and Parker taking the ball away from Gyro, wanting to return the favor to him, but with Gyro 50 boost, sees the goal. They flip reset though, as Raziers into that back right corner. Only 26 boost, delays his dodge to flick it over the top, but Taroko read him perfectly. Just this time, instead of that 1v1 they faced off against earlier, Parker was there for the save. For
the first time in this game, HEET with some consistent defending to do, as Rogue seem to have pushed this ball forwards, and they're getting some boost deals too, so HEET are a little bit starved. 32 and 23, the boost numbers that they've got, but that infield pass can change everything so quickly, and suddenly, Gyro is doing some defending. Defend well, Gyro. That's a lovely first touch.
Bumping.
Taroko, what are you going to do? He just stays grounded. Really well played there by Taroko.
Classic Taroko as well, like not wanting to take to this guy. Instead, fancy staying on the ground. Parker able to shoot. I like that idea from Parker. You missed the ball, get the man. Why not? 90 seconds left. Gyro can't get it past Raziers, who is going to attempt to get it past Taroko with no boost. Taroko is in very dire situation. Raziers get it central. Maybe Parker should have stayed a little bit closer. Could have seen a goal in his future. Instead, it's Raziers on that back line with 100 boost though. Can just send it high. Can he get this ball away? Now, again, intercepted by Taroko, dropping it down. Raziers able to challenge. Only 60 seconds left.
Ooh, that one could be going all the way in. No, Gyro was able to get back on time. I think it was off target anyway, actually, but the bounce looked really dangerous.
It's exciting, though, isn't it?
It is exciting. That's 2v2, mate. Every touch is exciting. Look at this one. Wow.
Ooh, that was awesome. Gyro, can he get another fantastic touch? Of course he can. Raziers into that corner again, wanting to get the pinch, but instead it just falls to Taroko. But his continued pressure in that 1v1 style is going to give HEET that sheer possession.
Rogue are on the cusp of going out way earlier than they would have wanted to. They need to turn this one around. Taroko tries a desperate shot. Not quite to be. This one is more defending needed from Gyro. Raziers there into the middle. Parker is wrapping around this one. Taroko, can he win this one cleanly? He can. But Raziers in the perfect place yet again. HEET are starting to feel it. The time is ticking away. Rogue desperate for that equalizing goal.
They need it in the next 10 seconds. Otherwise, HEET, European team, knocking out a North American. 5 seconds remain. Parker onto that side wall. Raziers just backs off. I love that idea because Parker can challenge. Passes it over to Raziers. Taroko unable to move in the way of the ball and the ground. And that is Rogue falling prey to HEET. And the lower bracket run continues.